Hi yogis, thanks for joining in. We're going to get started with another feel-good flow through the movement and the breath, getting us to a place where we're feeling better in our bodies and our minds and our hearts. And in a more general sense, making the shift to a more feeling state. Our minds are so overactive, so stimulated. So it's really nice to drop into our practice where we can shift into feeling more and thinking less. So that's the intention for this practice. We're going to start in our knees in child's pose. So letting yourself find that rest of hips to heels as you stretch the arms out long in front of you. Allow the forehead, the third eye space to touch down. And if hips aren't sitting all the way back in the heels, don't worry about it. I just want you to feel more spacious in your back body, particularly in your low back. Let's feel the breath go out through an open mouth, relax your jaw. And as you breathe in, feel yourself expanding into all four sides of your rib cage. So not just the back, but also the front and even side to side. So creating space from the inside out. And then exhale, just feeling the body get heavier. Let it sink into the ground. And just taking a few moments to feel into the body. Where might you be holding on to some sneaky tension? Maybe it's in the hands. Maybe it's still in the face somehow. Feel your brow soften, your jaw at ease. And with every inhale, maybe feel as though the arms just very slowly, gently lengthen forward, like someone is slowly pulling your wrist toward the top edge of your mat. At the same time, as you exhale, your hips settle even more heavily back. Let's stay here 2 more breaths. Use the exhale to really let the tightness go. Breathing it out. And with your next inhale, let's rise up to tabletop. So just feel for our lineups. The hands beneath the shoulders, your knees beneath your hips. Once you can get a little more space around the shoulders, so you're just going to reach the right arm forward, and you're making a circle, reaching back to complete that full rotation. So just starting to find it. Your circle doesn't need to be huge. Your palm faces away from you as you reach the top of that circle, and then sweeping back, you can spin your palm back in. So just seeing if we can move fluidly into that rotation. You might feel that there's some sticky places. Good. And then as you exhale, we're going to reach the right arm way out in front. You can bend the left elbow back and just start to pull the underside of your right shoulder back. So we're going for more of a stretch in the underneath of the right shoulder. Let your head relax. And then coming back up to where we started at tabletop. With the left side, left arm floats forward, spin the palm out, make that rotation back. If you are a surfer, this is a really nice one for just finding the counterbalance. We're always paddling forward, so it's nice to do the opposite. Imagine that you're actually swimming through water. Feel that soft resistance. Let's do one more. And then starting to reach that left arm forward as you let your right forearm get closer to the ground. So feeling the stretch underneath the left shoulder. Let the head hang or maybe even touch down. And then let's draw both hands back. And this time reach both arms out long in front of you. So this is our puppy dog pose. Keep the bum high, but melt the chest back. Maybe letting the forehead touch back down again. Some people, if you're ready for it, the chin could rest as you look forward. Good, and then starting to slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. Let's breathe in, allow the belly to drop, the heart to lift, just our simple cat pose. As you exhale, round and send your hips back toward your heels, so almost like we're going back toward child's pose. And then for this, we're going to fingertips to face in toward each other. So as you roll forward, the chest and the chin hovers, your elbows go wide. So let's feel a bit of work around the front of the shoulders now. And then as you push back up to straight arms, send your hands to point forward again and round into your cat back. And that's going to be our sequence, moving through the spine. Inhale, your cow pose, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, sitting the hips back toward the heels. Inhale, turn the hands in toward each other, elbows flare wide. Hover your chest and your chin. Press up to straight arms, fingertips point forward again. Cat through your back. Inhale, starting it over again. Belly down, heart up. Exhale, sit it back. Lots of space, low back. Inhale, elbows out. Hover the chest and the chin. Feel some strength there. And as you push down, we find a lift through the back into your cat back. Nice, yogis. 2 more times. As we get the pattern of the movement, make it more about your breath. Feel to inhale, carrying you forward into that hover, elbows splay wide. And exhale, really creating space in the back as you press the ground away. Last time, deep breath in, heart up. Exhale, easing the hips back. Breathe in, find that shift forward, the strength around your shoulders. And then pressing up, cat back. Let's tuck the toes. Sending the hips high, downward facing dog. Starting to feel the reach of your heels back and down. Let's find maximum spread of the fingers away from each other. And starting to breathe length into the arms, the spine, the legs. Letting your gaze go back between your feet so we keep the neck really nice and long. Feeling the breath roll through. Creating more space, creating more length. Couple more breaths. Now's your time if you want to wiggle things around, maybe pedal through the legs, bending one knee at a time. Just feeling into your pose, that feeling state. How does it feel here at the start of this first dog? Let's breathe out, press back. And then as you breathe in, we're going to start to walk the feet to the hands. Move closer to the top of the mat. Let's bring fingertips to shins. Really offer the heart forward, find your flat back. And with the exhale, slowly coming into Uttanasana, deep bend in the knees. Let's feel as though the upper body is waterfalling over the legs. Let the arms hang. Right, the upper body may be the water, but your legs are still that solid rock wall that's behind the water. So feel some energy there as you push down into your feet. There's energy in the legs, so it's not entirely passive. It almost feels a little more lift through your sit bones. All of that we can do with still very bent knees. Let your body find the center in your feet where you feel most steady, stable. And we'll take 2 more breaths. All breath out, all tension gone. And as we prepare to roll back up, let's do this with closed eyes so we truly go by feel. Less concerned with how things look. Tapping into that internal wisdom. It's a slow roll up to find where we feel best in our posture, where we feel like we're breathing optimally. Sliding the shoulders back and down. Let's end up with the palms facing forward so the chest is super broad. Feel the crown of the head lengthen up. And feel into this place where we are more tuned into the breath, to the present moment. As we make that part of our intention in the practice, let's bring the hands together in front of the heart, just sealing that in. Take 1 more breath here. Exhale, releasing the arms back at your sides. When we breathe in, we'll open the eyes, reach the arms upwards. Find full body length. As you exhale, bend the knees. Let's return to that forward fold, Uttanasana. Coming up part ways to find that length in the spine again. Let's keep it. Plant your hands. Step the feet back. High plank. Press the heels back, lengthen the crown of the head forward, finding that really nice strong line. Take a breath in. On the exhale, we'll bend the elbows back. You're welcome to place the knees down. Find your version of chaturanga. Come onto the tops of the feet. Press the heart forward and up, cobra or upward facing dog. And then drawing the hips back, downward facing dog. Stretching into those lines, that inverted V shape. And feeling your hips at the apex and length on either side of that. Active press in the hands and the fingertips. And start to sweep the right leg straight back. Keep feeling the drop in your left heel. And then we'll bring the right knee into a bend as you draw it forward. Let the right foot land lightly between the hands. And then soften the back knee toward the ground, but we won't let it land all the way. Get a little more lift in your chin, your chest. And then we're going to spring off the back toes, just stepping forward. Halfway lift. All breath out, find the stretch. Breathe in, reach for the sky, find length. Let's go right into the other side. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the palms, step the feet back. Feeling our way into where we feel strong in plank. Take a breath in, feel your body lighter. As you exhale, elbows bend. Find the place where you can hover. Tops of the feet press, heart moves forward and up. Exhaling the hips high and back, down dog. Inviting the heels to drop back and down. Feeling your side waist nice and evenly long. Steady through the feet, and let's lift the left leg high, so keep the right heel dropping back and down. Breathing in, really dog. As you pull that left knee in toward a bend, underneath you will place the left foot between the hands. And come up onto the fingertips, and then soften that back knee toward the ground. We won't let it land. Get more lift in your gaze, your heart. Starting to open up in the hip flexors, and then we'll spring off those back toes, step the right foot up, halfway lift. Exhale, all breath out. Inhale, reaching up toward the sky. Exhale, forward fold, same start. Many of these movements might be familiar to you, so just allow yourself to feel your way into them. Stepping the feet back, high plank. But not on autopilot, stay present. Bend the elbows as you exhale. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, hips back. Lifting the right leg. This time we're going to bend the right knee. So feel a lot of space, front of your right hip. The front of your pelvis turns toward the right. Trying to keep the shoulders where we started. Send the right knee high. And then as you exhale, slowly draw the right knee toward your right tricep. We're going to step the right foot outside of the right hand. And then allow the hips to sink down. You can lift your gaze in your chest again. Good, now we're gonna hit the rewind button. So that right leg goes up and back again into your scorpion dog, right knee high. And exhale, slow down the transition. Almost take a moment to kiss your right knee to your right tricep before we set the right foot down. And then we let the hips dip, heart lift. Good, go back one more time, inhale. Right knee up. Maybe even slower. Find the control in the transition. Setting the right foot down. Nice work. Let the hips sink a little bit, heart lifts. Let's turn this into a twist. So the back knee is still up away from the ground. Right arm to the sky. Your right toes can angle out to the right a bit. And as you exhale, we're going to reach this right arm underneath the body and press the legs a little straighter. So like you want to touch your right fingertips to your left shin. Inhale, rebend your right knee, open up, turn. And exhale, reaching underneath, straighter legs. One more, inhale. Exhale, reaching back, pause for a moment with straight legs. And then place the hands down. Let's turn the feet so we're facing that left side edge of your mat. A wide leg setup, legs are straight. Exhale, come into that simple wide leg fold. 2 breaths. Feeling just a little more weight over the toes. Hands under the shoulders, come up part way, heels in a little bit, toes out. We're gonna bend the right knee, left leg stays straight. And then a couple different options for you. You might stay up a little bit higher like here. Some people might be able to sit closer to their right heel and allow the left toes to point up. Hands can help brace you, or keep the right hand down, reach your left arm up toward the sky. Get a little more sensation moving into the inner left leg. Good, left hand comes down. Let's spin on the feet so we're facing forward again. Frame that right foot, and then step it back, high plank. Slow lower into your push-up place. This little lift of your heart forward and up. And then hips back, down dog, big breath. Clearing out the first side. Just feeling the difference, where you've been on the first side, where you've yet to go. More importantly, where you are right now in this moment. Breathe into that. Left leg lifts when you're ready, breathe in. Let's play with bending the knee. Keep your shoulders where they are, but allow the front of the pelvis now to open up a little more to the left. Big inhale. As you exhale, keep the left knee bent. We're shifting forward, shoulders over the wrist to land that left foot outside of your left hand. Let the hips sink, the heart lift. Hit the rewind button. We're going up and back with the left knee again. Breathe in. Exhale, just see if you can slow it down. Kiss your knee to your tricep as you place the left foot down. Settle the hips, get lighter in the chest. One more time, back it up with the bent left knee. And with control, slowly drawing that left foot outside of your left hand. Sink the hips, lift your gaze. Good, left arm to the sky. Let's make a little bit more of a twist. And as you exhale, left hand reaches back. Move towards straighter legs. Sweep that arm back. You want to reach for your right shin. Inhale, bend the left knee open. Exhale, straighten the legs, reach back. One more full inhale, turn. Exhale, stretch back, pause there. The legs are gonna stay straight. Let's bring both hands down. Turn on the feet so you're now facing the right side edge of your mat, parallel the feet. And with an exhale, simple wide leg fold. Let the head drop down. Reaching through the outer lines of the legs. Maybe shifting your weight just a little bit more forward. Often feels like there's a tendency to keep the weight in the heels. Let's see if we can get a little more centered over the feet. Coming back up, halfway lift. Let's adjust the feet a little bit. Heels in, toes out. On this side, we're gonna bend the left knee, keep the right leg straight. So just start to feel that energy in the inner right leg line. Keeping it up here, or maybe sitting closer to the left heel so that the right toes can point up. Hands can help support you, or leave the left hand down as the right arm goes up toward the sky. Breathe, find more reach through your right arm if you're lifting it, nice. Both hands come down, let's pivot, face forward again. Step the left foot back, high plank. Moving through your vinyasa nice and slow. Feel the movements, feel the breath, feel the flow. Breathing out, pressing the hips high. Breathing in, let's start to walk the feet toward the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, remember we can always return to very bent knees. Pressing down into the feet. Upper body, water falling, pouring down. Legs really strong behind that pouring water. Breathe out the tightness, the tension. When you breathe in, let's feel the refresh as we rise to stand. Full body lengthening upwards toward the sky. Hands come back to heart center. Good, let's take a pause, close the eyes, feel. Feel your heartbeat, feel your breath circulating. Feel the body starting to awaken. Nice, yogis. Let's release the arms. Feet are hips distance. And we'll set up for a variation of chair. So let's bring the hands behind the back. Find an interlace of your fingers. See if you can suction the palms a little bit closer together. And then you're welcome to keep your hands close in toward your sacrum or start to fly them back so you get more of that stretch across the chest. We breathe in here, press down to the feet. And as you breathe out, start to bend your knees. We make the shape of sitting into your chair. Keep flying the arms back. Drawing the hips back. Committing to that deep bend in your knees. Gazing straight ahead. Feel for all that strength and power in your legs. We've got 2 more breaths. Spacious chest, expanded even more with your inhale. Exhale, let's see if we can keep this clasp as we drop forward again into our forward fold. Knuckles now go high. And just feeling the opposition. As your head drops down, your knuckles fly up and over. Please, please keep your breath as the priority. So if this bind, this clasp is distracting you from your breath, it's not worth it, lose it. Let's shake out the head loose, no tension in the neck. See if you can hold onto this clasp. We're gonna come up halfway, so go ahead and let your arms rest in the low back. Halfway lift. And then we're gonna slide the left foot back and find high lunge now. Keeping the clasp if you can. And start again to move the arms away from your back body, lifting through your heart. Maybe gaze goes up. And if you're feeling it, you could even start to slide your hands down the back of that left thigh toward your knee just a little bit more. 1 more breath. Good. Take out any back bend. Relax your arms. Nice job. Arms to the sky. And let's exhale, bring both hands down, frame your right foot as you straighten your front leg. So it might be nice to step your back toes forward a bit. Pressing strongly into both feet. And let's really feel as though we are smoothing that outer right hip back. And oftentimes it's nice to even just bring your right hand to that place and help encourage it back. Staying here, if you want to add a turn with me, we're going to start to revolve the chest to the right. So even more, outer right hip back, like you're moving your right sit bone back and up. If you want to, right arm to the sky. So find that vertical line up for your arms. Doing our best to breathe around the compression of the twist. 1 more. Nice, yogis. Right hand comes down. 1 more exhale, folding over the front leg. As you breathe in, bend both knees a little bit, flatten the palms. Step the right foot back, high plank. Take your transition to down dog, which might even mean you skip this. And meet us straight away in dog. Let's bring it together, big inhale. And exhale. Walking the feet back to the hands, top of the mat, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold. Breathe in, find that upward reach, upward lift. And out, release your arms down. Nice work. Again, find that slightly wider position of the feet, just a little wider than hips distance. Let's join hands again behind the back. Maybe play with opposite thumb on top so we even things out. Maybe starting to stretch the knuckles back and down as you feel your heart soar and lift. Breathe in. With the exhale, let's start to sink the hips back. Moving into chair pose in your legs, even as you continue to maybe work your arms back away from your back body. Just trying to keep your neck in line with your spine so you feel it really, your head jutting forward. Let's just encourage that back. Feel the strength in your legs. We've got 1 more breath. And then slowly starting to pour forward again. Let's see if we can keep the clasp. Let the full weight of your head drop down and your knuckles move up and over in opposition to that. All of this we can do with bent knees. Take another breath. And start to transition to our lunge. Halfway lift first. Maybe take a moment, rest your hands to your low back. Bend the left knee, slide the right foot back. High lunge with the left foot forward. You can start softly and maybe just stay here. Or continue to find that front body opening by sending the hands back away from you as you lift your gaze into your chest. Or you could even just graze your hands down the back of your right thigh, get even more lift. Stay committed to that bend in your left knee. Take another breath. Gather your torso back upright. Relax your arms. Float them upwards toward the sky, palms face in. And let's exhale and slowly find stretch mode. Hands down, left leg straight. Maybe step right foot up a bit. On this side, we encourage the outer left hip back and really keep pushing the sole of the left foot down. That helps you maybe even feel left hand connect to outer left hip, smooth it back. Option to add the turn, start to revolve your chest to the left. And maybe even extend the left arm to the sky. Keep working the outer left hip back. Breathing where we can around the compression. One more. Exhale, bring the left hand back down. Let's find one more breath at center. Breathing in, lengthen forward. Breathing out, stretching over that front leg. Plant the hands, little bend in the knees to step the left foot back. Slowly moving through your transition, whatever it might be. Back to downward facing dog. Feel the feedback from your hands, that strong press. To send your hips higher, to find more length in the spine. Nice, let's look forward. So this time, as you draw your feet forward, we're gonna bring them wide outside of the hands. So you might do a little frog hop or just a step. And let's end up closer to our squat. So heels are in, toes are out. This looks different for everyone. If you need to be somewhere in this zone, that's all good. Or lengthen the tailbone down, settling into your Malasana. Maybe palms meet, and we can use the elbows to just gently encourage the knees away from each other a touch more. Stay broad in your chest. Nice, yogis. If this is feeling good to you, just hang out here. I'll give you some option for playtime as well. We're set up for crow pose if you like. Plant the hands, lift your hips. And let's start to line up the knees into the upper arms. We're gonna try and keep them high. Start to feel that shift of the weight forward into your fingertips. Dig the fingertips down. And maybe we start to play with lifting one foot and then the other, or maybe big toes magnetize toward one another. We just find that balance. Keep firming the inner elbows closer to each other rather than letting them collapse out. Slowly bring the feet back down. If you were holding your breath, find it again. And then touch hands to the ground. Let's start to bring sit bones toward the sky. Forward fold. Shake out the head. Just make sure you're not holding on to anything that doesn't need to be there. And let's take a roll this time. So keep the arms dripping down. Realigning ourselves back into a tall place. Nice, yogis. Stepping forward, palms together. Let's find our optimal balance. Stay centered over the feet. And feel yourself really lengthen up through the crown of the head. Let's shift all the weight into the right foot. As you bend your left knee, start to bring it in and up. We keep pressing the palms against one another that help us stay plugged into the midline. You can have a slight bend in that standing leg, your right leg. And then we'll start to pour the heart forward as you stretch your left leg back. So just go by feel. It doesn't need to be a perfect shape, but we're moving closer to that warrior three feeling, that feeling of flying. Maybe extend your wings back. Get longer from the crown of the head back through the left toes. And then let's gather the hands back in. More of a bend in your right knee. Let's try to do this really slow. So see if you can hover the left toes really close to the mat. Deep bend in the right knee. And then eventually we land that back foot, spin the heel down. Warrior two. So we end up with the right knee forward. Right leg is your front leg. Settle into it. Maybe a quick visual check just to see right knee pointing straight ahead. Soften your shoulders. Let's keep the legs exactly as they are. Right arm reaches up and back. Reverse your warrior. Left hand light wherever you place it. And then as you exhale, push into the right foot to straighten the right leg. And let's tip into our triangle position for the arms. We're going to move a bit between those two places so don't get too settled. Inhale, bend your right knee. Stretch the right arm back. Feel the right side get more space. Exhale, straightening through the right leg. Left arm up and maybe just slightly over now. Let's see if we can get more length on the left side as well. Inhale, come back, reverse. And exhale, Trikonasana. Left arm, let's really reach it overhead now. Left palm can face down toward the floor. Really pressing through your back foot. Feel more length in your left side. Nice, look down toward your right foot. Little bend in the right knee. Let's bring both hands down inside of your right foot. Spin the back heel up. And let's make more space. So wiggle your right foot way over to that right side edge of your mat. Planting the hands beneath the shoulders. And just take a couple breaths where we're a little more powered in the legs. So don't set the back knee down yet. And let's even think about walking the hands more forward. So I just want you to think long and low. Getting as low as you can with your body. As you walk your arms long out in front of you, stretch your left heel way back. One more breath. And then let's find more support. So bring the hands closer in under the shoulders, drop the back knee down. And you might stay here on the palms or come down onto the forearms. You can play with the amount of turnout in your right foot. I've got mine at maybe like 45 degrees. If that doesn't feel good, you can point forward. Let's send more breath around the right hip space. And let's start to add a variation. So we're going to come back up to straight arms. Nothing's going to change in your legs or your hips, but your upper body, you're going to start to walk over to the left. So your right knee is still off to the right, but your upper body moving more toward the left. And now I want you to feel a really long stretch through your right arm. Reach it way out away from you on the diagonal so you can bend your left elbow or come back down into your left forearm. And what we're after is a feeling of opening up a little more into the lats on the right side, your side waist on the right side. Keep reaching. Nice, yogi. Slide that right hand in a little bit closer. Let's come back up onto the left palm, but your right arm is still kind of in that diagonal line. We're going to open it back up, kind of like we did in the beginning, that back stroke of the arm, but this time it's like you're tracing the arc of a rainbow all the way back. Nice. And then let's stroke the arm forward, move through that imaginary water. Again, just feeling that resistance that slows us down. Inhale, open it up. One more time, forward, tracing that rainbow arc. Good, let's inhale back and then decide where you want to be for a couple breaths. So it might be that your right arm is just at shoulder height. Maybe some people right hand to the back of the left thigh. And let it feel like you can press your hips a little more to the right side of your mat as you let your head fall open more to the left. Lots of space, front side of your body. Big breath. Nice. Simply coming back to where we started in our lizard, hands under the shoulders. And let's just heel toe the right foot back between the hands. Pick up your back knee. Nice. So let's see if we can retrace our steps. Shifting again all the weight into the right foot. Look forward. Maybe start to bring the hands up away from the ground as we lift the left leg. Feel the power in your standing leg. And standing tall onto the right leg, drawing the left knee back in and up. Back where we started. Beautiful. Both feet placed down. Take a moment, even out again. The weight between your feet. Find balance. Deep breaths in between sides. Just let the first side go, however it would for you. We start fresh. Left foot takes the weight. Opening the eyes if you've closed them. Let's gather the right knee in and up. Pressing palms together, just feeling that connection to your midline where you're steadier. Tip the upper body forward as we start to fly the right leg back. Find a bit of a micro bend in your left leg, your standing leg. You just want to think more length through the back leg, so don't worry about how high it gets. Good, and then more work for your standing leg. Bend the left knee even more. Keep the left knee pointing forward. Let's get that right big toe to hover just above the ground. Place the right foot, open up the arms, warrior to your second side. Nice, take a moment just to feel where you need to be. Maybe opening up your stance a bit more from where you initially landed. Feel your strength, but also find the softness, top line of the shoulders. Stay committed in your legs, that left knee pointing straight ahead. Reach back, reverse, don't change the legs. Nice, and then as we push into the left foot, straighten the left leg. Right arm skyward, feel the tilt in your pelvis, your Trikonasana. And we flow a couple times between those two places. Rebend the left knee, left arm up and back. Exhale, straighten the legs. Start to maybe reach the right arm just a bit more overhead. Right, so let's go slow enough where we're feeling the movement stay grounded low in the legs and the core. We're not just swinging the arms around. Good, and now let's park it for a bit. Straight legs. Right arm reaches overhead. Let the palm face down. Press into your back foot. Really light up that right side. Let your gaze go wherever it's comfortable. Maybe down, straight ahead, up toward the right hand. Breath in. And as we exhale, looking down, bend the left knee, bring the hands inside of your left foot, spin the back heel up. Let's wiggle that left foot way over to the left side edge of your mat. The left foot is turned out a bit. Take a couple breaths, let's keep the back leg active. Back knee's not down yet. Let the mantra be long and low. Crawl your arms forward. Lengthening out the line of your body from your fingertips back to your right heel. And then as we bring the hands closer in under the shoulders, soften the back knee down, more support. Coming down into the forearms if you like, or staying on the palms. Feel for more fullness and travel of your breath. It's getting caught up in one particular place. Let's expand it out. Maybe even send it toward that left hip. One more breath here at center. And then we'll come back up to straight arms, and let's add that walk off to the side. So everything stays the same in the legs, but your hands walk your upper body over to the right. And then like your left arm is reaching past that upper right corner of your mat. Really find stretch through the left arm on that diagonal. You can come down onto your right forearm. And bring some sensation into that outer left shoulder and left side. And then let's start to ease out of that. Hands come in a little bit closer under the right shoulder. Come onto your right palm. Left arm sweeps up again on that diagonal. Open it up, spin the palm out away from you, trace that rainbow, left arm drops back. Come forward again, moving through that swim stroke. Imaginary cutting through water, slowing us down, open. One more time, up and over to reach forward. And then opening it up, and let's find a place where we can just stay and bring a little more space into the front body. So maybe your left arm just stays floating. Maybe send the left hand to the back of your right thigh. We can let the hips lean a little more to the left. Allow your head to drop open to the right. So much space in the front of your body. In the front of your right hip, front of the belly, the chest, the throat. Looking up, feeling that inner lift. And then slowly coming back around. Good, let's ease the hips back and up a little bit just to bring the left foot back to center. Tuck the back toes, back knee comes up away. And just seeing if we can slowly, smoothly retrace our steps. So shifting the weight into your left foot, start to fly the right leg back. Gather hands in that strong standing leg, bring your right knee in toward your chest. And exhale, stepping it down. Nice, yogis. Take a moment, return to steadiness in your balance, in your breath. Just constantly inviting our approach to be feel more, think less. Let's find flow, arms to the sky. Exhale to fold. Bring the movement back slowly, halfway lift. Working the feet back into high plank. Breathe in, get buoyant in the body. Breathe out slowly with control, lower down. Inhale, heart forward and up. Exhale, hips back. Pausing here, stretching into those longer lines, your arms, your legs, your spine. On your next breath in, let's roll forward into plank, lining up shoulders over wrists, pressing back through the heels and just finding that really nice, strong line. And then you're gonna keep that as we bring the left knee in toward the chest. So oftentimes when we bend the knee, we start to get into this rounded shape. But for this practice, let's try and keep this straight line. Good. Draw the left thigh way up into your chest. Take another breath. And then the left foot is gonna kick out to the right. You'll land on that outside edge of your right foot. Spin the right heel down. Right arm goes up to the sky. And then if you want to supercharge it, we'll reach the left leg up away from the ground. Feel the boost under your hips. Take another breath in. And then as you bend the left knee, bring the right hand down. And let's bring the left knee behind the left wrist for pigeon. Start to walk the right toes way back. And let's take a pause and just lift from that feeling place, your heart center. Feel that broad. Take another deep, nourishing breath there. And then go from that place of feeling. Maybe you feel as though this is where you want to stay for today. Or we can start to explore what shifts for you for the better if you get closer to the ground. Maybe even all the way to the ground. See if you can really tune into where your sweet spot is for this practice. Let the breath slow down even more. Softening between the shoulder blades. Letting the breath get really expansive from the inside out. Let's even imagine, feel as if we are breathing into the hips. into the places where you really feel the sensation of the posture. If you're happy here, please feel free to stay. I'm going to add on a variation that might get us a little more quad stretch for the back leg. So if you want to try that out, let's come back up to an upright position for the torso. And then you'll bend your right knee. And with that same side hand, your right hand, reach back for maybe the inside edge of your right foot. Left hand can help keep us upright. And we'll start to maybe guide that right heel in a little bit closer in toward your right glutes and start to feel that stretch and opening across the front of your right thigh. Nice. Maybe directing your gaze and your chest a little bit more forward again toward that top edge of your mat. Let's give it one more breath. Feel super tall. And then releasing the back foot down. Nice work. Hands come back. Press the hips high and back. Let's reset in down dog in between sides. Full deep breath. And then with an inhale, drawing ourselves forward into that really nice, strong, long line again. This time it'll be the right knee that gathers in toward your chest as you maintain that straight line. Take a breath in, really firm the right knee up a bit closer to your chest. And then kick the right foot out to the left. So we'll turn onto that left heel down, outside edge of your right foot, left arm to the sky. And same option, maybe doing a little bit more work, right leg floats up away from the ground. Lift from the hips, press into the right hand. And then slowly come back to facing down, right knee behind the right wrist. Landing your pigeon, walking the left toes back. Taking a moment to puff through your pigeon chest. Get more awareness around your heart center, your feeling space. And then let that guide us to where we want to spend the next few breaths. Maybe it's staying upright, getting closer to the earth. Softening toward the ground, giving into gravity, especially on the exhale, letting things sink. But on the inhale, still tapping into that sense of lightness as we expand from the inside out with a giant inhale. Full and complete exhale. And you can stay here with the support of both hands down, or we'll come back up to straight arms and set up that quad stretch for the left leg this time. So you'll bend the left knee. Right hand can help support you as you reach the left hand back. Get a hold of what you can, maybe the inside edge, the big toe side of your left foot, to help guide that left heel in closer toward your left glutes. Maybe we feel as if we can square the chest and send the gaze back over the front of the mat. And that lifting up through the crown of the head. One more breath. And then releasing that back foot back down. Plant your hands. Let's find dog one last time. Just to pedal things through the legs, to draw that length into the spine. 2 more breaths. Nice, yogis. And then slowly lowering the knees down. We'll cross the ankles and take a seat back. Plant the feet in front of you. The knees are bent. And let's grab a hold either in front of the knees or maybe behind. Feel what's best for you. And we're going to start to roll back, but keep your feet anchored. So it's the weight of your legs that keeps you from rolling back. You're going to really lean into your upper back. Lean into your back ribs so that we can feel lots of good space across the shoulder blades. And then when you breathe in, pull from your hands to let your chest lift, your gaze lift, opening up. And then exhale, we'll curl back again. Keep the legs very strong, keeping you from tipping back. Inhale, rolling forward. Broad across the collarbones. Exhale, curling back. One more that way. Inhale. And exhale, curl back. And this time you're gonna let the legs come up and draw the knees into your chest. Good, taking a moment just to maybe rock around a little bit, circling the knees in space away from each other, or keeping the knees together and working your way around your sacrum. Just feeling for any bits of tension that might still remain in the low back. We'll see if we can rinse those out. From here, we'll place the feet wide. Knees are still bent. Let's feel them as wide as the side edges of your mat. Your knees are pointing up toward the ceiling. We can let the arms go nice and wide, shoulder height. Both knees drop over to the right. And then over to the left. And just continue to alternate, dropping the knees side to side. You'll feel that as the knees drop one way, that opposite hip is going to lift a little bit. That's okay. Get some good space over the front of that hip. Just rinsing through the spine, washing through the hips. Let's allow both knees to drop to the right this time, and then just give that a pause. And if you want, you can you pick up your right foot and cross it on top of the left knee, and then just let the weight of that top leg drag the legs down and over to the right just a little more. Let the back of the head relax. Fill up the belly with a deep breath in and out. Relax both shoulders. Uncross that top right foot if you've brought it on top, and we'll let the knees flop over to the left. And on this side, you've got the option of bringing your left ankle on top of that outer right knee. So we just feel more weight. Slowly draw the legs closer down into the left. Expansive inhale. Softening into the exhale. Bring the top foot off of your right knee. Point both knees up toward the sky again. And let's keep the knees wide, but draw them in toward your chest. With your hands, grab a hold of the knees and see if you can pull them in just a bit closer. So the knees are wide, shoulders distance. And from there, we'll float the feet up. Grab a hold of the opposite edges, outside edges of your feet, and just start to draw the knees down like you want to hug them back into your armpits. Let's feel the back body really connect and melt down into the ground. And then for a couple breaths, we're going to leave the left side exactly as it is. Don't change that. Let your right leg go and drop it out nice and long. Really feel yourself reach through the right heel as you slowly lower it, so we'll get some really nice lengthening even on the way down. And you might even leave your right hand over your right hip just to smooth over that space. Almost imagine you can breathe there, length across the front of the right hip. At the same time, we're still firming that left knee in toward the left shoulder. Bend the right knee back into place, back into your happy baby. And now the right side will stay as it is. Drop your left leg nice and long. That reach through the left heel as you drop and land softly through your left leg. And then just feeling the balance. So on the right side, we're getting some good squeeze and compression at the front of the hip. But on the left side, as you stretch through that left heel, reaching it forward, some lengthening, some space. Inhale to bring the left knee back into place, so we've got both sides in happy baby. Nice, yogis. Just a couple more breaths here. You might now draw the soles of your feet together so that the knees point out wide. You can use your hands to try and keep the soles of the feet connected. And then depending on how you're feeling, maybe draw the heels in toward you a little bit closer. So this is what we often do seated or Baddha Konasana. Now we're just on our backs. And we might play with one breath as we breathe in. Lengthen as you breathe out. Imagine drawing your forehead toward your feet. Looking through that space between your legs. Keep lengthening the tailbone away from you. Relax your head back. Release the grip of your feet. Slide the legs nice and long. Letting yourselves fully relax into Shavasana. Letting the feet roll open, feeling the palms turn up. Try and stay close to that feeling state. I know sometimes when we get into stillness, into quiet, the mind gets really overactive again. Well, let's just stay in the awareness of the breath as you breathe in. Feel the space you create. As you breathe out, notice the tension, any remaining tension leaving your body. Soften into the ground. And let your awareness of your breath turn more into appreciation, so we really feel how enjoyable it is to breathe slowly, to breathe deeply. This next breath, really feel your face fully relax. The brow is soft, the jaw is soft. Let the lips fall open a little bit and you breathe out through an open mouth. If you've got the time to spend a little longer here in Shavasana, I highly recommend it. Otherwise, let's start to stretch the arms overhead. Find full body extension and lengthening again. Maybe circling through the wrists and the ankles. And taking it nice and slow, bend the knees. Let's roll over to one side. And then slowly pressing our way back up to a seated position. Just to share last couple breaths together. Bringing the hands in front of the heart. Feeling your thumbs connect to your sternum. Bringing you into your center, your place of presence. And let's let the chin drop to the chest. It's like bowing the brain into the heart so the brain can acknowledge there's wisdom too in the heart, in what we feel. Breathing into that heart space, one more cycle. Thank yourself for making this time to practice, to feel better. Namaste. Thank you, yogis, for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.